For your course, you might have a service learning component, depending upon how the course was set up. I want to talk to you today for a couple of minutes about what that service learning component is about. First, consistent with the mission of communication education, students should have an opportunity to learn to communicate with others who aren't always like themselves. Service learning provides students an opportunity to use the learning from their own coursework to enhance the lives of others through active participation, community networking, and communication while applying active, evolving coursework concepts. The service learning activity will be worth a certain percentage of your final grade. Check your syllabus to be sure. The requirements are 15 hours a week over the course of the semester. You should break that up in either 1.5 hours per week times 10 weeks or 3 hours per week times 5 weeks, depending upon the length of your semester time. What I want you to do is to examine your local community and make contact with a prospective agency. And you can even use the syllabus essentially and bring the syllabus and show the syllabus requirement to those agencies. Because quite frankly, everybody likes when someone comes in and volunteers for help. You're really not going to get anybody to turn you down unless it's really an inappropriate location for you to be. So most agencies are open to the concept. But one of the things I want you to think about with respect to the service learning project is this. We are studying communication. Communication, concepts, and theories without actual application is useless to everyone. So what I want you to do is I want you to find and pick a place where you can contribute and make your community better. It's got to be an organization that actually has employees. You've got to actually work with an organization where an employee specifically will take control of supervising your project. Working for your neighbor, the shut-in, isn't going to work for this project. Although I do recognize the value in that, it's not going to work for this project here. You got to get, with as far as meeting the criteria, it's got to be an organization that has employees. If a charity isn't available to you, what you might consider doing is finding an organization such as one work experience place that matches your career goals. If you're looking to be an accountant, perhaps find an accounting agency. If you want to work in a hospital, maybe go to the local hospital or doctor's office and volunteer there. Look at it as an opportunity for learning, internship, externship, learning about a possible career option for you, making contacts, or if anything else, helping your community better itself because of this course. Because what you're going to be doing is learning about communication and then seeing it in practice and being involved and participating in interpersonal, intercultural, communicative behavior. Okay, so why student learning? Students often not initially find student learning a desirable option. A lot of students, I'm not going to say most, but a lot of students actually balk at this. I don't want to do this and I don't want to do this. I guarantee you almost everyone who ever says that to me comes back later and says, what a wonderful, great experience. I'm glad you made me do it. Often they have jobs and they give me families and they give me all kinds of excuses and reasons as to why they can't do it. I realize that you have a life and I realize that you have work outside of perhaps school. And I'm not trying to make your life harder for you, but we are talking about active learning experiences. And this is important. Service learning is part of the class curriculum because it is a valuable learning tool. Ideally, you are providing a much needed service to the agency you choose. And that is, of course, my hope. And as an institution of higher learning, my goal is to provide and to create opportunities for you to contribute and to learn. I've discovered that students learn more from hands-on experiences than just classroom and books. And it'll give you the opportunity to take advantage of what learning in the classroom looks like in the real world. But let's talk about brass tacks here. In other words, how is this real? Once we're finished with your service learning, you now have a contact, potentially. I'm not going to guarantee it, of course, based on your work and your networking and your ability to relate. But now you will have a contact in the community who might be willing to write you a letter of reference or recommendation for your next career advancement opportunity. Also, being able to say that you've got volunteer work or service learning or internship, however you want to word this, on your resume will put you that much farther ahead of anyone else in the job search category when you're looking to advance. So I don't want you to look at this as something as a hardship, because almost all my students come back and thank me for the opportunity. Make a difference in your community because of your communication class. Ask me questions as you go. Make sure you get your service learning location approved before you go ahead and get the contract signed and submitted. Make sure you get a real signature on the contract from your supervisor at the agency when you fill out those forms before you submit them on Blackboard. Okay, let me know when you have questions, and I will talk to you hopefully later. I'm Dr. Mike Searcy.